Welcome to this interview, the first one that is given to national media organization by Her Excellency Madam John Polashek, the United States Ambassador to Algeria. Your Excellency, welcome to the APS headquarters.
Thank you. It's really a great honor to be with you today.
Thanks. And my colleague Jamal Basu joins me to conduct this interview. Jamal, welcome.
Welcome. Ambassador, let's move to another issue, Western Sahara issue.
Yes.
As you know, in occupied Western Sahara, the situation of human rights has become worrying for the international community. How do United States monitor the situation?
Human rights is a concern, a major policy and concern for the United States all over the world. And we are committed to sustained international engagement and independent and impartial monitoring of the human rights situation all over the world, including, of course, in Western Sahara and the refugee camps near Tindouf. And we very much appreciated the efforts of the Algerian government over the last year to facilitate human rights monitoring in the camps near Tindouf.
As you mentioned just now, is committed to solving this issue within the UN framework. But the United States hasn't showed since several years they are in favor of implementing the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination. In a sense, it does appear that the United States is for the maintenance of the status quo between Morocco and Polisario Front, doesn't it?
I fundamentally disagree with your analysis of United States policy. The United States policy toward Western Sahara has remained consistent for many years. We fully support the UN-led process, which is led by Ambassador Christopher Ross, the Secretary General's personal envoy for Western Sahara, and its efforts to implement a peaceful, mutually agreed solution to this conflict that respects the human rights of all people who have been involved in the dispute. And we continue to work to urge all parties to work toward a solution.
Ambassador, always in the same context, the international community welcomed the U.S. initiative for the expansion of the MINURSO's mandate to human rights monitoring in Western Sahara. Was the U.S. initiative sincere or just a mere test, especially because the draft resolution was withdrawn without explanation?
As I said earlier, the United States considers human rights issues to be among our most important priorities all over the world. And we are committed to international engagement and sustained independent monitoring of human rights issues all over the world, including in Western Sahara and in the refugee camps near Tindouf.
Excuse me, Ambassador, on that point, there is a change in the position of the United States. There was an initiative for the enlargement of the mandate, then the project was withdrawn without any explanation.
I can't comment on the diplomatic discussions that took place behind closed doors when that project was under consideration. But what I can do is affirm that the United States is committed to human rights issues all over the world, including in Western Sahara and the refugee camps near Tindouf.
Can we see another U.S. initiative to monitor the human rights situation in Western Sahara?
I can't comment on what our plans might or might not be for the United Nations. I'm the U.S. ambassador here to Algeria. But what I can do is affirm, again, our commitment to support for human rights all over the world, including in Western Sahara and in the camps here in Algeria near Tindouf.
By the way, the American Foundation, Robert Kennedy for Justice and Human Rights, denounced in its latest report, let me quote, what they called the continuing violation of human rights in occupied Western Sahara. Is the U.S. administration aware of what is happening as a human rights violation in occupied Western Sahara?
As I said earlier, we monitor the human rights situation in many countries and many areas all over the world. And as I'm sure you know, we also publish an enormous annual report on human rights practices. So human rights continues to be at the top of our priority list. We continue to be engaged. We continue to push for international engagement and independent, sustained monitoring of the situation in Western Sahara and in the camps here near Tindouf.
But you take into consideration such report coming from the U.S. Foundation?
When we look at human rights issues, we study the whole range of literature that exists on all of these topics. And, you know, when I was a junior diplomat in Tunisia, it was my job to draft the human rights report there. And I can tell you that I consulted closely with human rights activists in country, with human rights activists all over the world. I searched, there was no internet at that time, but I searched all of the periodicals and reports that I could find. So of course, as part of our commitment to promoting human rights all over the world, the US relies on a wide variety of sources.
So Your Excellency, certainly you have few words in Arabic to say to Algerians.
طبعا أنا مبسوطة جدا لأكون هنا في الجزائر مثل السفيرة الأمريكية في الجزائر. عندكم بلاد جميل جدا، شرف كبير لأكون هنا. شكرا كثير وإن شاء الله نشوفكم.
Shukran jazilan. Your Excellency, Joan Polashik, the United States Ambassador to Algeria, thank you very much indeed for your time. And my thanks is also due to my colleague Jamal Bissou, who's taken part of this interview. And for you, thanks for watching and goodbye.